I blew up at my friend because she snuck a guy into our room while I was asleep and blew him up next to me, but she blew up back at me and said I'm just a jealous virgin. My friends and I, 25F, were on a getaway to the mountains and had rented a house for our stay. After a long day, we returned to the house, relaxed, had our dinner, and divided all the rooms amongst ourselves. I was sharing the room with my friend, 25F, Nancy. Everything was going well. We turned off the lights, and I fell asleep quickly because I was so tired. In the middle of the night, I was awakened by what I thought was an earthquake. The bed was moving, and peculiar noises seemed to be coming from behind me. I turned around, and lo and behold, my two very exposed friends were going at it, right beside me. I literally jumped out of the bed. They tried to cover up as fast as they could, but I had already seen things I'll never forget. I was seeing red. It triggered a bad memory from my childhood when I had been in a very similar situation with my parents. I yelled at them and insulted both of them, saying pretty mean stuff. I then dashed out of the room and spent the night on the couch in the cold. The next morning, my other friend, who found me on the couch, asked me about what happened and mentioned that she heard me yelling last night. I told her the whole story, and for some reason, she found it funny. When everyone else found out about what happened, they started laughing and making jokes, which I didn't mind since it lightened the mood a little. Nancy and the guy, Rick, soon came out of the room as well. Everyone told me to just forget about it and enjoy the rest of the trip, but Nancy told me that I was way too rude for something so silly. Rick didn't say much. He looked kind of embarrassed about the whole thing. I told Nancy that they could have woken me up and asked me to leave if they were so desperately in the mood to smash, and that I had every right to be mad because you don't start smashing on a bed where someone is literally sleeping. Nancy said that I was overreacting and it was not that deep. I was annoyed and pissed and told her to stay away from me for the rest of the trip since we were all there to enjoy ourselves. Now that we're back, Nancy refuses to talk to me and insists that I was the one at fault. She's being a pain in my back in general. She's calling me a virgin, which I am, and claiming that I'm just jealous that she is more desirable than me. She said all this to my face in private, so no one in the group knows. Everyone in the friend group thinks that I should just let it go and reconcile with Nancy and Rick, but Nancy keeps putting all the blame on me, and it's getting on my nerves now. Update 1. Someone asked me to update, so here you go. It turns out Nancy and Rick were using me to fulfill some weird intimate fantasy, and the whole group was in on it. They all knew that Rick and Nancy were planning on doing something like this, and they both did it with me particularly because I'm waiting for marriage to have bedroom intimacy. I've been an inside joke in the friend group for God knows how long, and I had no idea that they thought of me like that. They think that just because I'm waiting for marriage, I'm a loser who can't get anybody to sleep with me, as if I'm not a sane adult who can make her own choices regarding her own body. 2 people in the group had done this exact same thing with another girl, but that girl had laughed it off, so they saw nothing wrong with it. They just thought it would be so funny to prank me like that. A guy in the same group told me all this privately after I shared the link of the original post in our group chat. He said that he would have told me on the trip itself, but he got pressured into staying quiet because it would ruin the fun. I'm truly disgusted. Rick did apologize, but I haven't heard from Nancy. The others who were laughing said they didn't think it would be a big deal and wouldn't have participated if they knew it would make me uncomfortable. They don't know that I know about all the jokes they make about me behind my back. And all the apologies came only after I shared the post and made them read what the comments were saying. I have decided to ghost them altogether. I'd rather have no friends than associate myself with a bunch of judgmental idiots who act like 16-year-olds. I also wanted to clarify that the childhood memory I had mentioned wasn't abusive. My parents were doing it beside me, thinking I was asleep, but I woke up from the noises they were making. The room was dark, I didn't see anything except their silhouettes, and they never realized that I was awake. Thank you to everyone who showed their support and gave advice.